Welcome to Kamil's Data Cave, where you can bolster up your IT skills. And if you like the way I explain things, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. What we're going to do today. Sometimes when you have a workbook or worksheet and you want to share it with others, you might be a bit worried or maybe even distrustful what the end users might do with your worksheet. So you can try to protect the worksheet. So look what I have created here. I have a table with products and I have created a formula here and a drop-down list that anytime I change the brand here, I get a different number of products. So there's this count ifs function. So I want the end user to be able to choose the item from the drop-down list, read the value of the formula, but I do not want to give them any possibility of changing anything here, because if someone changes the brand, I don't want it to be that way because I don't want them to mess up my table. So what I can do, I can try to protect my sheet, but protecting sheet is all or nothing option, at least by default. So when I go to review and say, well, I'm going to protect worksheet, Excel is going to ask me, well, would you like to have a password for it? I say yes, a very complex one, so ABC once again. Now I have already protected the situation where the end user might try to change the brand because it's not possible any longer because it has been protected. But at the same time, I told Excel, well, you know what, you have to protect also cell C2 where I have my drop-down list. So whenever I try to change anything from here, I get this error message saying, oh, you can't change that because it is protected. So what can we do? I'm going to unprotect my sheet with this very complex password. And why is every cell protected whenever you turn on worksheet protection? Because every cell is like a volunteer saying, oh, you know what? Whenever worksheet protection is on, I'm not letting anyone or anybody change the value that is inside me. So if we were able to tell some cells, well, you know what, you don't have to volunteer here, that would solve our problem. And how can we do that? We can use format cells option, and I'm pretty sure all of you have at least once in a life been in this format cells window, but I don't know if you ever noticed that when going into format cells option, you have this tab that's labeled protection. When you jump into that protection tab, it says, well, this cell is going to be locked. If I deselect this option and hit OK, nothing has really changed. I know this is a very superficial property at the moment. Why is that? Because it's going to be active only once the protection of worksheet has been applied. So look, at the moment I can change anything. I can change the brand here if I wish, or I can change the drop-down list here, and that's pretty fine with Excel. Why? Because Excel protection has not been applied yet. But then when I go to protect sheet and say that I'm going to protect my worksheet with default options, all the cells volunteer for being protected except for one, the one that I had previously deselected protection option for. So look, now my worksheet is protected. I am not able to change anything in here. I'm trying to change a brand and Excel is yelling at me with this error message. But when I change the value in my cell C2, everything works perfectly fine. If you want only selected cells to be changeable, so you can modify them, you have to go to Format Cells option, deselect Protect before you apply Protect Worksheet option. So if you want to know a lot of functionalities of this shrewd tool, which is Excel, make sure you subscribe and pop in for more.